Hello and welcome to today's edition of Diplomatic Passport, your daily weekday COVID-19 show that keeps you up to date with Zimbabwe's COVID-19 effort, regional as well as international trends. My name is Blessing Munati, and this show is made possible by ZTN's partnership with the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services. Today we have a different setting altogether. We are outdoors and looking at the statistics released yesterday by the Ministry of Health and Childcare. 89 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded, bringing the cumulative to 131,523. A single death was also recorded yesterday, which brings the cumulative number of deaths to 4,631. The Harare Institute of Technology, one of the high and tertiary institutions right here in Zimbabwe, was conducting its 12th graduation ceremony, hence the regalia that we are having today, that we're sporting on today. I was part of that class, and it's quite a privilege being in that class. And this, of course, defining the new normal that COVID-19 has brought on to the dynamics around how we live our lives. Virtual graduations are the in thing that's happening today, and we did have a chance to talk to some of the graduates that were attending this virtual graduation ceremony at a local hotel right here in Harare.
I'm very excited that this day has finally come. You know, learning in COVID has been very difficult, especially with the lockdown and everything. But eventually we made it, and the main problems we had concerning COVID with the virtual learning was that it was very difficult. While some people grasp concepts easier when they're having face-to-face interaction with the lecturers, but this wasn't happening because of COVID. So this was a problem for most students, as well as discussions, group discussions. That's one thing we really relied on during our 4 years. So it was a bit difficult to have to work by yourself and, you know, maybe have 1 or 2 virtual discussions. And internet speed, that was another issue we faced, because during Zoom lectures it was very hard to all be on the same speed. So we lost a few people there. But yeah, we're finally here in the days, so we made it.
From 2017 to 2018, we were studying in a normal way. But from 2020 to 2021, we were greatly affected by the pandemic, by COVID-19, such that we were being asked to do online studies, we were being asked to do some home studies. So it was a very difficult thing to do online studies, because at times you find it difficult having data for getting access to the internet and so many things. It was a very, very great difficult period. But I would like to thank the Lord that we managed to pass through the phase.
It's very exciting and exhilarating to be graduating. Unfortunately, we would have loved to celebrate and enjoy the graduation on the campus at Harare Institute of Technology. But you know, due to COVID-19, there's been a lot of experiences that we have faced, both as students and also as individuals. To tell you the truth, it has been very hard for us as pharmacy students to be able to learn and to be able to maneuver through the whole entire experience of COVID-19. Seeing that we moved from physical lectures to online lectures, it became very difficult for us to even participate even in our practicals at the Institute of Technology. Also, to add on that, being someone who was very adventurous during my time of studying at our Institute of Technology, delving into various conferences, it made them very difficult for us to move around. But we thank God that we have finally managed to graduate and finish, though it was a very, very problematic situation that we found ourselves in.
So we did manage to talk to one student who suffered or was a patient of COVID-19 at one point in time, and he shared his experience on how it feels to finally be graduating today.
I'm very grateful to be here, and I just wanted to say a little bit about my experience, as I was one of the few students, I think, maybe few students who actually contracted COVID-19 just before our exams, before they were actually postponed to a later date. So, pertaining to my experiences for COVID, it was quite painful, and I had close to a critical manifestations of COVID that were actually quite dangerous for everybody. And then I had all those COVID symptoms that are well known, including the coughs, difficulties in breathing, and also pain in the joints, and also all those symptoms, right? So basically, emotionally, right, it was so dreadful, and also I suffered, I think, a little bit from people, as actually the health practitioners from around were actually not able to actually admit those COVID patients since the past few months, since there are not adequate facilities. But however, I was able to actually isolate at home and actually receive my medications there through some nurses who brought them at home. However, there was a little bit, I think, that needs to be addressed to everybody here. COVID is a well-known flu, right? Since I'm a health practitioner, let's say I'm a pharmacist, right? I've just graduated, I have a bit of knowledge, and what I can say is this: people don't really have to be afraid of this pandemic, since I was able to actually be cured from various medications that I was taking, and then people, as I saw it from the society and everybody, were even afraid to actually visit me at home, which is actually a good thing, since COVID really spreads so fast and in different ways and so easily. But I think people don't have to be afraid. Even after I was cured, the same problem was actually happening. People wouldn't want to see me even at the shops, where I was. But it's not something that we should be afraid of at all, since I was able to even come up from all those emotional and physical pain. I was able to actually write my exams when the due date was postponed after COVID had a recession in the country. So I would like to say to everybody, follow the doctor's advice, just mask up, and also make sure, and I mean it, make sure you are safe at home, and definitely prevent gatherings whereby there are so many people involved, and also always maintain social distancing. That's what I can say to you. And and in conclusion, I can say that even though you have contracted COVID-19, you can recover, and also you can actually have your life moving on afterwards.
We also had a chance to talk to one of the parents to understand how it is, or how it feels, or what it took for them to be there for their children, and the challenges that they faced to actually be there for their children as they learn in this COVID-19 time.
And now with the COVID, vana vasaende kuchikoro vachidzidza vari kumba, iyo nyaya yekuchizotsvaga on top of paying fees, takutotsvaga zvemari yedata, takutsvaga mari yekubhadhara wifi kuti mwana akwanise kuattenda ma-online lessons ake. It was an added expense which was quite difficult for us. And again, another challenge which I had, being a mother ngaine mwana ari kuuniversity mumwe achiita A-level, it was difficult for me kuti ndimonite ndizive kuti vari kuita chikoro here kana kuti pamwe vakuita musikanzwa. There are a lot of musikanzwa inowanikwa panetwork, unowana mwana achingoti am busy, ndikuita chikoro, asi kuti unogara paside pake unenge wakutonyara kuti semubereki mwana anenge akuti mama musi kunditrusta here, but at the same time ndichitya kuti toti ndoziva sei kuti mwana ari kuita zvechikoro. A lot happens online, a lot happens pama-internet. Asi in the long run ndatoona kuti mwana apedza chikoro azonzi agraduata. I'm so happy. I think maybe we need to change and engage in the new norm yavapo iyi, because handifungi kuti tichadzokera kumashure. Ndozvavapo, ndozvatakufanira kuita engage on.
While the COVID-19 has revolutionized the way we do business, the way we conduct ourselves, this is the new normal, most definitely, virtual graduations. But we are speaking today with one person that really saw opportunity in this time of doom and gloom, if you want to call it, the time of COVID-19 and the pandemic as it is upon us. We're talking to Emice today, and I'm glad to introduce Munyaradzi. Welcome to the show today. Emice, what is Emice? Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and what made you see this opportunity?
All right, thank you, Blessing. So eMice, or rather Info Engage Mice, is a group of event Imagineers. We are there to create the best events ever. Our name actually has an abbreviation of what we do. For example, meeting stands for, M stands for meetings, I stand for incentive travels. That is when you and your co-workers want to travel somewhere, we are there to provide those holiday services. C stands for conferences, because we also provide conference facilities around Zimbabwe. And E stands for exhibitions, and under exhibitions we also have event launch, and even when you want to do your product launches, we are also there for you.
So what made you, look at this opportunity, and how far has it taken you? How long have you been doing this, and how has been the response?
For us to be here, it was because we saw a gap in the industry. With the coming of COVID-19, there was a huge gap in how events are coordinated and how events are done in Zimbabwe. First, you'd see that with graduations, there was now the advent of virtual graduations, where you as a student, you were told that you have to graduate virtually in the comfort of your home. I'm sure that even you today, you were supposed to be graduating in the comfort of your home. But then we saw that there were people who were willing to have that opportunity to have that graduation feeling. So what we did is we created a package. Since we were already into events management, we sat down with my peers. We created a package where we give you the opportunity to enjoy what's going on at your campus, and at the same time, you are witnessing, or you are having that feeling that you actually graduated. You're having that feeling that you made it in life, and you're there with your friends. So we would, first, with every event that we did, we would look at the different COVID regulations that are there in regards to gatherings. So we made sure that at every venue that we are hosting, we would have a number that meets that number that is in the regulations. For example, currently I'm sure the regulation says 100 people per gathering. And today with Harare Institute of Technology, when I was looking through the numbers, I saw that we had 95 attendees. So we're actually 5 people short of 100. And then we also made sure that as students, we gave them something that they're glad to go home with. So in the package, we have your photography. So you'd go home with portrait photos of what you did. They would give you those photos as soft copies. If you want to print, would bring in guys who would then give you those printing services. And we understand that since these graduations start a bit early in the morning, I understand by 8 a.m. everyone should be seated. So we would also have your morning teas, and after everything is said and done, we would also go on to our lunch.
That's quite candid. What advice would you have for would-be entrepreneurs out there looking for opportunities? COVID is still with us. So for would-be entrepreneurs, what I would like to say is there's a lot of room for opportunity regarding what you can do. You don't have to necessarily follow what eMice is doing. You don't have to follow what another company is doing. Because if you look at it now, I'll take an example on the issue of home deliveries. And a lot of people are now preferring to have their food delivered straight to them, to have their medication delivered straight to them. And there's actually a lot of what you can do. Now, what you really need to do as an entrepreneur is you need to sit down and look at what you can do best. Because you might want to copy what Econet is doing with their Via service to have your medications brought to you, or you might want to copy eMice to do virtual events. But then that's not the end of the world. There's a lot of what you can do. So you need to sit down and see what you can do, how you can manage it, and how best you can package it so that you meet your market's demand. Well, thanks so much, Munya, for coming to the show. Right, that's Munya, who is with eMice, and he did give us advice there. Just look out for any need that needs to be met, make sure you bridge the gap between the need and yourself in order for you to be able to meet the need. That's the advice that's coming out there. Opportunities are bound to be there, out there, despite COVID-19 being there. This is the new normal. We need to be moving forward with our lives, and we need to be going ahead with whatever we plan in our life. Set goals and be able to achieve them. Well, that brings us to the end of Diplomatic Passport for today. A unique show coming to you from outside right here in Harare. But it is a good day. It has been a good day. It has been a big day. And this program is, of course, brought to you by ZTN in partnership with the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services. We're back again next time, same channel, same time, same place. Do make a date with us, and it's goodbye for now.